Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? This is Easy Things to Draw, and I'm going to answer a question. The reason I even have this on here is just something in my sketchbook that I'm working on. It's something I already posted on Instagram, but I'm probably going to go back to it and start shading it more. But I did post I think up to this on on Instagram. So the question that somebody asked me is, how do you know when you're like in the zone, or what do you define in the zone as? I remember when I was in, I'm sorry, I'm just going to be working on this casually because I figure it's good background as I'm talking about a subject, just to work on what I'm working on. So somebody, when I was first learning to draw, when I was about 18, I went to a junior college. A junior college was called Southwestern College. It was over here in San Diego. It was, I think it was on Chula Vista. And that college was basically the, how do you say it, like the high school too, in a way. Like everybody that came out of my high school that really didn't go to university right off the bat, they went to that school, Southwestern College. And it's okay. It's a good school, and it's gotten a lot better, I heard, over time. But their art program at the time, not right now, I don't know about it right now, but at the time, it was really dismal. A lot of just regular junior colleges are not really prepped to create people that are going to work in art. They just kind of give you the 101, and usually it's somebody who doesn't even know. Oh my god, my teacher didn't even know how to draw, which is weird, and she was teaching the drawing class. I'm not excuse me. I'm not going to call out what her name was, but because she's still around. But she didn't know how to draw, which is really weird for a drawing teacher. I thought that was really strange. And she was teaching the drawing class. And she would always talk about this time where you're drawing and you go into the zone, right? She would say into the zone. At the time, I didn't respect her, so I didn't really take it seriously, I was like, whatever, because she can't even draw, we would beg her to like teach us to shade, and we'd realize like, oh, she doesn't know how to shade. That's why she doesn't teach us. And anyways, enough smack talk. So she would talk about these phases where you're in the zone, kind of like when you're driving. She would describe it, which is really just like like a pseudo kind of a hypnotic state that you kind of like, you don't really think about it, and you're doing it, and then when you're doing it, you're not really thinking a whole lot about it, but you're getting it done. You're getting it done better than normal too, because you're so kind of concentrated on what you're doing. So I guess that is a good definition for me now. Sometimes there are these states, and I think it was Idris Elba. He was in a bunch of movies. He was in Pacific Rim, and he was in what else is he in? He's in the Star Trek movie, the new one. Idris Elba. He was talking about how he gets in this zone where if he doesn't look up to check, he will get further. For example, he talked about, I'm just going to give his example verbatim. His example was when you're swimming, and when he swims, and he has to do 25 laps of swimming, and he would actually, if he looked up at the clock, and counted how many laps he was doing, he would probably get to 15 and be tired, just super tired. But he didn't do that. What he did was he would just concentrate on what he was doing, focus entirely on what he was doing, just kind of, think about the stroke, the technique, all that stuff as he's swimming. And he would just look up and it'd be like, oh, there'd be like 21 laps, You'd always get further when you're concentrating on what you're concentrating, when you're, I guess, in that zone. You just get further and better. And I think his quote was, if you're climbing a mountain, it's the same thing. You really you won't know you're at the top until you get there. Don't look down. I thought that was great advice. I probably butchered it. He says it better. It's like a meme. I would go look at his Look him up, Idris Elba, maybe inspirational quote or something. I thought that was great advice, and it was really helped me out a lot since I heard it. I only heard it like a couple weeks ago, but I'm like, man, that's some great advice. Just don't look down, and just keep, thinking about technique, thinking about what you're doing, and you start to slip into that zone per se. Obviously, this is all on the predication that you already know how to do this stuff. You already know the technical part of it, or a decent amount of it, and you've already been doing this thing for a while. It's something that you've already been doing. But anyways, that for me, that's in terms of like what I think it is. I feel it's the same way. It's just a state where everything comes together, where your knowledge, and I've talked about warming up. Like there's another video about that. I'll try to link it. I'll link it somewhere. But obviously warming up gets you in that state, or it starts to get you warmed, into that state. Is where your technique comes out, your hand comes out. Your hand really becomes an extension of your brain, because sometimes you're drawing, you're like, man, I pulled that stroke wrong. Like that happens to me a lot. I'll just go like this, and I'm like, crap, my hand's not doing what I want it to do. And then there's points where you're thinking about everything. At least there's more precision involved. Like, like I'm just really picking my shots, very similar to, like, I don't know, some sort of sport. But you're picking where you want to put it, and then you put it right where you thought you were going to put it. But anyways, that's kind of it. For me, I try to get into the zone. It usually takes me, honestly, now, it takes me like an hour to get like into this state where I know what I'm drawing, Like I know exactly what I'm going to put down. Or putting these lines where I would like them to go. That's it. Now it's just, Anywho, just to look at this picture real quick. This is like a goofy image. I don't like his hand at all, by the way. I see, I can't do anything about it because it's pen, but it's almost like he's offering him gum. I was going to put like a cigarette here, something like that, because it's goofy. I don't like the composition that much. But anyways, this is Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat talking to, or meeting a Skeletor. It's just some goofy thing, whatever. I just did this for my own amusement. That's why I figured I'd use this as background while I'm talking. Anyways, that's about it. I wanted to ask you guys to do the same thing. What do you guys feel like, or what do you guys define like in the zone per se? But also really like, how do you guys feel? How often are you in the zone? You know what I mean? Like how do you feel? Do you feel like the same way? Do you feel like it's this kind of, what is it, God mode or something like that? Do you feel like you're invincible and you're like, wow, you're just hitting everything? How does that feel to you? How does it feel like to be in the zone? So that's a question I have for you guys, and that's pretty much it. Just a short video. Well, I guess I went on for a while because I ramble. So I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you next time. Oh, P.S. guys, I forgot to tell you this. So there's two things I want to talk to you about. There's two projects I'm coming out with. Number one, I am coming out with a 22 steps to becoming a better artist, and that is like kind of like little advice things I got today. Like the thing I talked about today a little bit. There's these things that I've noticed, right, when I was coming up in art. There's some people that excelled like crazy, and even though they got the same instruction as someone else, the same technical instruction, I noticed there was these kind of mental things they would do that would help them out. Like, again, like today was like sticking to the grind, right? Or, not looking up, not like things, there's stuff like that I've seen in every successful artist. And I made a list of it, and I'm making a program out of it, and there's 22 of them, and they're 22 of the most important things I've ever seen, like attributes that, maybe principles and ideas that, you could apply to yourself and excel in your art. But that's one thing I'm working on. It's not out yet. If you want to get on the email list for that, I'll put a link somewhere. You can just get on the email list. I'm just going to let you know when it comes out, pretty much. If you guys already signed up, you know that I never, ever spam. I hardly even use the email thing. I just use it for announcements. And I haven't used it much. It's maybe like once a month, maybe. Not even that. So, yeah, that email list. But I'm definitely going to let you know when that comes out. If you want to know about it, just get on that list. The other thing, and it's pretty much the same list, is, and this is a new project I'm announcing, I am working on a sketchbook that I'm not going to release anywhere. It's just stuff like this, like goofy drawings, like ideas and fan art, you know, just random stuff, right, that I like to draw. I don't know how many pages is going to be yet, but I will promise that 98% of that sketchbook, I mean, I'm thinking of making it 20 pages. It's going to be it's kind of smaller than this, you know, it's going to be like those ash cans they sell, like, I don't know if you've ever seen those at conventions, but it's going to be an entire book of stuff by me, like just creative junk that I like to draw, but it will be posted nowhere. Like, I would never have posted on Instagram or shown it here or shown it anywhere. And I'm just going to sell it to people who just kind of like stuff that I do like this. You know, if you guys want to check that out eventually. That's just something I'm working on as well. Not out yet. So these two things are not out. If you want an announcement, if you want to get the update when either of these things come out, just get on the email list. So anyways, that was a long post announcement. So I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.